Deputy Speaker of the House of Representatives, Benjamin Okezie Kalu, has commended former Abia State Governor Okezie Ikpeazu for accommodating opposition views and promoting free speech during his tenure. Kalu, in a statement released to mark Ikpeazu's 61st birthday, said the former governor's leadership encouraged open expression without fear of persecution and fostered peace and inclusiveness in governance. However, Kalu's remarks come shortly after he faced strong backlash from Abia's residents and the state government over his recent criticism of Governor Alex Otti. His earlier comments drew swift reactions from the public, prompting some observers to view his praise for Ikpeazu as an attempt to contrast the past administration's tolerance with the political atmosphere in Abia State. Through his chief press secretary, Livinus Nwabuhiogo, Kalu described Ikpeazu as a humble leader who respected differing opinions and made strides in infrastructural development. The Deputy Speaker said Ikpeazu's openness and calm approach to dissent remained exemplary qualities for leaders navigating criticism in a democratic setting. I'll start with you, Nze, on the story. What do you make of this position by Benjamin Kalu, the Deputy Speaker, House of Representatives?
Thank you very much. I believe that Ben is quietly proving to the people the emptiness of his head. And honestly, his crisis or criticism of Alex Otti will definitely deny him the next ticket to the assembly. Because I'm not from Abia, but I'm a Nigerian. And if I see any governor who is doing well, any elected member that is sitting in power and doing well for his people, I think I should commend that person irrespective of where he's coming from. Whether he's from the north or from the south or from the west or from the east. But you see that it is Alex Otti's kinsman that is now discrediting Alex Otti amidst applause from around the nation and perhaps the globe for the man who came to clean the rot that the past administrations left in Abia State. And you see that Ben is using his office as the number 6 man in the country, the Deputy Speaker of House of Reps, to make caricature of such lofty office, proving to Nigerians that he has not matured mentally. Because trying to, I'm being very careful not to use the words that come to my head against this young man, but I respect his office as the Deputy Speaker of Federal House of Reps, but his approach to governance in Abia State is something terrible. Trying to make comparison between Okezie Ikpeazu and Alex Otti is like bringing dark black and crystal white to compare them of being the same color or closely related. How can that happen? Now, Okezie Ikpeazu knows very well that he has nothing to share or compare when debating with Alex Otti, the serving governor, the people's governor. To a large extent, Ikpeazu's wrote made Otti a saint, and a crystal saint for that matter. If Otti should go to heaven with the kind of praise people are giving him here on earth, he may be likened to the class of Angel Gabriel. Because that Kalu coming to say that Ikpeazu tolerated dissent in Abia State. What will Ikpeazu fight for self? What will he fight for? Is it not when you are doing something and somebody comes to say, no, you are not doing something, and the person, you can now stand to, how will look, you are lying down and somebody comes to tell you are lying down, you begin to fight. Has that person said what is wrong? Now, we know that for the 8 years Ikpeazu stayed in Abia State, we saw all that happened. I'm not from Abia, and I don't have any reason going to investigate him, except for my job as a public analyst, that I go through every information that emanates from those places. So if Otti, if Ikpeazu did not maybe take any decent criticism so seriously, it is as a result of his non-performance. But Otti also is not listening to Ben. You know that Ben is just doing everything to pull Otti out of his shell. And the only one comment Otti made is turning him left, right, and center. And he's now coming to shout. Otti said, you are planning to rig election. Because coming to publicly to say that you can't be number 6 citizen and another political party other than APC. When he was making that statement, I took him out of context. I felt maybe he will go to Otti to join APC. But if he's saying that Otti will remain in another political party and he will bring APC to win Abia, it means that he's preparing to write election results somewhere. And Otti says, no problem, you will write. But before writing, let me advise you as an elderly man, as an experienced man, as a man of the people, and as a man that his people loves. Before writing your result for 2027 governorship election, write your will. Do you know that that statement is deeper than we read it through? Because you know Abia, you know Abia people, you know the way they operate. They've come to love this man who has liberated them from the clutches of past administration. And you tell me that you come to that same Abia State and write result. How? I know that APC delights in a rigging election.
Right. And that's an allegation.
Yes, and it's an allegation. That's to you. That's to you. But allow me, please. Allow me. APC delights in rigging elections, and that is the bed of their power. And that is what Ben wants to bring to us, that he will do it in Abia. And Otti had said, we are not afraid of your writing election. We know how you have been doing that. If not that the INEC person, Otti, that refused
Professor
Nenna, if not that she refused, the same line of writing an election would have happened. But the woman stood her ground. And Otti is telling him now that when next you'll be coming in 2027 to write that election, first write your will. Because after writing the election, I don't think you will stay to maybe enjoy whatever.
That's threats to life. One could say that.
I'm quoting Otti. If Otti had threatened him, well, let him take Otti to court. Because this is Nigeria. We believe that Nigeria is a lawful society.
Right,
so if Otti has threatened Kalu for all the nonsense Kalu is vomiting, let Kalu take Otti to court. And the court will meet.
Okay. Victor, what is your take on this story?
I'm surprised that we're already in court, you know. One thing I like about his style of analysis is that he's straight, don't come and hit the nail on the head, you know. And I understand why, you know, his idea for, you know, going hard on Ben and all of what he has said. But for me, I think it's a non-issue. You know, sometimes I wonder how some of these kind of issues, you know, are the things that these politicians, you know, push, and, you know, this agenda they bring for us to discuss, to talk about. I think it was more like a deflection. The criticism with Otti, the back and forth with Otti, you know, I think it was so much on the negative for him. So he needed some diversion. So hence, I think this
was it. But then, don't you think it's still, even the diversion will still bring more backlash?
No.
Now it's reacting from.
That's the
I've
point.
never seen they react like this before.
Yeah. Now, see the idea. See the idea. Whatever he has said or whatever back and forth he had with Otti hasn't been given that much positive feedback on his part. So, coming now to say Ikpeazu, you know, tolerated. What else was he supposed to do as a governor? I know he asked. I mean, I had some friends that worked with Ikpeazu, you know, when he was governor, and so I had some privileged information on how the government was run and how the problem wasn't the lack of funds, but lack of ideas and initiative from the government, that's headed by Ikpeazu. And I don't think it is secret that he did not do exceptional. He didn't do very well as a governor of Abia State. He didn't do anything different from what previous governors have been doing. There was no new thing. I think the only
flyover.
Please.
Osisioma flyover.
Okay.
Malaysia is bringing more trouble.
No, but you can't. No, but genuinely, he will always. It was a landmark project. That was the first flyover in Aba. That was a landmark project, and you credit that to Ikpeazu.
I think if any responsible, reasonable person would even want to hide things, when you do things like that, you don't want people to say, "Don't share, no, I've done it."
But he did one flyover.
Oh, God!
In 8 years. At least that is something. Isn't that something?
Please. It's too much of a joke. When you check the amount of money, the fund that came in during Ikpeazu's time, and yes, not as much as Otti is getting now, but I mean, he performed poorly, very poorly. So I don't think this issue of Kalu coming to praise him is for me, is completely irrelevant.
Now, one would say to a large extent, when he said that Okezie Ikpeazu was very tolerant of dissenting voices. Well, that, reminded me of some things that happened in Abia State then. First of all, when a woman gave birth in a public hospital, and the governor said they should, I think she was given 500 naira by the governor. And the issue came up. And the governor was saying that 500 naira was a lot of money to have given a woman give birth.
No, the truth is...
It is a real story that happened. Ridiculous, unbelievable, but true.
But it happened.
But it happened in Abia State. And that trended for a while. And while that was going on, now, conversations and criticisms, with regards to the quality of road, particularly the flyover, there were concerns that flyover were being built with substandard materials. And then people were saying, even till now, you rarely see motorists take that flyover up. They take down. Because they were saying that the quality of materials used in building that flyover
I think I want to join them in saying...
then...
Not they, I joined
when the governor was having a media chat, and that concern was brought up, the governor, attributed the bad roads, the breakdown of bad roads, to women who will wash and pour water from food, soapy water with pepper on the road. And he said this is the reason why
I agree that Ikpeazu's tenure was...
so he actually did respond to criticism.
It was all of mediocrity and... I think...
But he wasn't saying it as a joke. He was saying it
That's what I'm saying. When you see... I'm trying to... The words shouldn't come out. Because if I use the word that, immediately, I will not... I'm trying not to...
Thank you very much.
But please, we know this thing he's doing is a joke. Let's just...
No, the thing is, when statements like this are made,
how do you make such statements
it will bring the administration of Ikpeazu under spotlight.
I think he just wanted to divert the
that
attention.
also brings me to another point. When before Okezie Ikpeazu became the governor of Abia State, Okezie Ikpeazu was the chairman of ASEPA in Aba. That is Abia State Environmental... sanitation, yes. Your guess is as good as mine. Abia State was on all-time low in dirtiness. Like, Abia State at some point was even touted as one of the dirtiest cities in Africa, right? In Africa. And that, to a large extent, you can tell. How do you tell, for example, if you are going from Port Harcourt, for example, to Aba? The moment you enter Abia State with that, there's this gully where they throw dirt.
The medium, that's...
Yes, the dirt, even...
The dump sites.
The dump sites, it got to the highway.
Yeah.
Like, the dirt was blocking the road on the highway. That is East-West Road.
You practically drive on that.
You drive on that. And the stench will follow you for minutes. Even on high speed, the stench will follow you for minutes. That's how I know. I don't need the boundary. I don't look for any boundary. The moment we get to that spot, I know that, okay, I've entered Abia State. and that's the reality that Abia people lived with for a long time.
For a very long time.
And then he became the governor.
And then
he became, as ASEPA chairman, did nothing.
Yeah.
And then became the governor. It became worse. It became worse.
That is why you see, when I try to talk about Ben and his comparison of Ikpeazu and Otti, I find it difficult to believe that Ben actually reasoned well before coming to talk on air. Because, you see, those who gave Okezie Ikpeazu the ticket of PDP to contest to contest for governor, and also made sure that they delivered him. You now see their mindset. Now, you know Ikpeazu for a long time. He has served in your government for about 8 years, and even in the successive government, and you know the kind of person he is. When he came in power, when he came on board, you see him display drinking of alcohol in open view of camera. And now, how would you now compare a man who gives 500 naira to a woman whom God delivered? See the height of insult to Abians, height of insult
and how the temerity to explain that
how big the money is, 500 naira. Now, and now, how do you consider the capacity, the thinking capacity of that person? And when people complain about bad road, he likened it to women who wash their dates and throw on the road. So just see the class of people.
The salt and the pepper was breaking down
the road. And he, as a governor, could not fix it. And
he said he keeps fixing, and they keep throwing those things.
So they kept wasting his effort. So, and he came to build a flyover for 8 years. You know how much suffering we, the users of that road, suffered for 8 full years. And by the time the flyover was commissioned, it was Janglova. Instead of flyover, it was Janglova. And I told you that I almost flew out of when I had not known I was coming on, I think I was about 120. So with just my mind, the next thing, the vehicle flipped up. I shouting Jesus, and the thing continued happening until I descended. It was like, so when I was now returning back, I had to slow down, running on 80, yet the same thing happened. So you now see that actually the man Ikpeazu shouldn't be mentioned. Let his picture just be in the government house.
I agree. Everything you have said, I agree.
Yeah, but he shouldn't be mentioned when people are talking about Alex Otti. Nobody. And the Ben who brought this comparison have also shown the height of his own insensibility to the plight of people of Abia. And another question we'll be asking is, if you say that Alex Ikpeazu tolerated you people when he was in power, doing nothing, he tolerated you people, and this man has come to do something, the same you that spoke bad about Ikpeazu have come to speak bad about him, and you expect him to keep quiet, and he has kept quiet, and you kept dragging until finally he responded to you. And one response seemed like double barrel that now threw you off balance. The truth is that even himself, Ben, has not done anything for his constituency. I think he's from the...
I think he did. There are pictures of about 3 things.
No, let's see now. He's number 6, eh? Please, he's number 6. Let's take him by being number 6. Not
three-room classroom. I think I saw that.
3-room classroom.
Yes.
3-room classroom.
And
which
hold on. 3-room classroom. And there was another one. An open space where they put grinding machine for grinding corn.
These are his constituency projects.
Yes.
And such a man is coming to speak when men are talking. Simply because he has been helped to...
Well, he would say that he has employed labor, he has helped by at least there is a building where they grind corn. I think about six corn grinding machines also were there.
Good. Lawrence, thank you very
much. Maybe
much.
more. I mean, what I saw.
Thank you very much for provoking me to this extent on national television. Thank you for doing that. But I think I will have to be matured enough to control my emotions. Because you have just insulted Igbo race. A man who claims to the height of number 6 man in Nigeria, in this our Nigeria, has built 3-room classroom for his people and has brought 6 grinding machine for women to grind their corn. And that is his constituency project. And he's coming on.
There may be more. There may be more.
Let him show them. Look, I challenge Ben Kalu to show his performances. If he has not shown his performances, let media houses buy him from appearing on televisions, because it's an insult to Igbo race.
All right, very well.
Sorry, I just want to mention something. While you see how ridiculous all of this sounds, there's an actual problem that we might end up missing if we continue in this trajectory. And like I said, I have friends in Abia State that are close to the government, and even in this government that we're praising so much about how, of course, it's clear. You say in the land of the blind, the one-eyed
man is king.
So the little Otti is doing, I say little because actually little. The little Otti is doing.
It's like so much.
It's so much because of the neglect and the antecedent of the previous administration. There's a problem. The problem, I think, is this. If we do not have people that constructively and reasonably criticize what Otti is doing, we're going to let Otti go with a mediocre performance that seems like a superhero is performing.
Because of the fact that his predecessors did absolutely nothing. So whatever he does right now is
amplified.
But then will you blame the people? Because I mean,
I will.
Hold on, please. You're looking at over 16 years of no governance. Like, there is absolutely no government presence in Abia State. Absolutely none.
I agree.
Right, and we had governors who, just come in the morning and greet their mother, peel a goosey, and then just eat and go. We had governors like that in Abia State. I don't want to mention the name of the governor, but I'm saying this thing clearly because, Abia State is like a second home to me. I went to school there, I grew up there, I was born there. My majority of my life has been in Abia State. So I can tell. And so it's not a function of what I heard. It's a function of what I experienced, where children will be going back from school and the water level is so much that the school bus cannot go to pick us up. And now I had to back my sister with the school bag with water as high up as my belly, and I'm a female child, and I'm going to school. I go back to school drenched. No, that time, no. When it rains like that, your parents tell you to stay back home. But probably we are coming back from school. The school bus will not come to pick us up. And we will wait for us. Then maybe around 4 p.m., we will have to back, all of us will leave as a crowd. We will back our siblings because, of course, they will drink water. Now, water will enter their mouth. So as young as I was, I will have to back my younger ones. And my eldest sister will back the other one. And we will trek with other students. Water as high up as our belly, and we'll trek back home. And this is a distance of from Omongase, Abowere Road, Omongase, from Omongase to as far as Fox Road, Lupao, close to Samek. As far as that distance, I am telling you, between the ages of 7 and 8, a lot of students were exposed. You understand? And it was a lot. It was in about one time that a military administrator during the military era, I remember very vividly, but I cannot remember the name of the military administrator. In fact, that was how they walked that Fox Road, Aba Road, area. From Port Harcourt Road to Ariaria, Fox Road, Aba Road. That was how that road was. I remember vividly because the man was, doing the normal, that time the military administrators do drive around the city with their escorts. Unfortunately for him, it rained that day and the rain was so much. The flood that time will carry grown people, like will wash grown people away. Unfortunately for him that day, that was when Ariaria had closed. Ariaria International Market, the market and closed, and the traffic was much. The man was stuck in the traffic. Ariaria people got angry. The crowd was so much. They overwhelmed his escorts. They made him come down from the car. I witnessed this. They made him come down from the car and trek through the water. They took him back to Ariaria. And he trekked back. He was soaked with water and it was still raining. Rain was pouring on him. His escorts were they couldn't do anything because the crowd was so much. You understand? And after he left disgracefully, the next week they started working on the road.
And that is the people that Ben is telling you that he will come and write election result for. No, that is the same people. I agree with you. So you see the spirit in Aba. If they can lynch, if they can bring down a military governor, then it is Ben, who is number 6 man doing nothing, that will come to Abia State and write election results. Let him do that, and we'll watch and see how it will be.
What you're saying, I mean, it's still, I'm saying in all of this, I have a worry that is a bit insidious. It's not obvious, but that's the problem. When, like I said, I have people close to the government, and they have their complaints that are legit complaints about how governance is done in the open. Yes, he's doing some good stuff because a lot of things have been neglected. But internally in governance,
there is dissonance.
There's a lot going on. From the local, there's no local government in Abia State. When I say that, there are elected people there, but in terms of how resources and funds are disbursed and how powerful or influential the people are to their people, there's absolutely.
As it stands, I think the local governments are now receiving directly from federal.
No, they're not getting. That's that.
How come in the case of Osun State, federal government paid directly to local governments?
That was how do you put it?
It was a separate issue.
Yes, it was a different. But okay. I'm saying there's an issue because the local government do not have account, direct account that you say the federal government will send. They still send to the state government account that where they send the fact. It's the same account.
I'm aware that local governments do have their accounts because even if the state government is paying to local governments.
There's an amendment in the House of Assembly that they are still working on that they've not done on how the funds are going to be disbursed in this local government autonomy. It's still not settled. So what they are using are the same account from the FAC is the same account they are using. And
Alex Otti is not disbursing.
Now the idea is the state government should, once the money comes, the idea is send the money. It doesn't get, and you will not complain. I make you chairman, you want to complain. So there's this issue. People are if you go to Abia State, ask people who is it, how a council or dole or a chairman, they are not known, they are not seen as.
Is it that the governor is not disbursing the funds meant for local governments to them?
Not as it should be.
Is he disbursing?
Not as it should be. He is, of course, obviously that's the only way, but not as it should be. I'm saying these are not, vicious problems. I'm saying there are issues, internal issues that ought not to be so. That because we have failed to criticize what Ben Kalu should be discussing
are these issues?
Yes, not
these governance issues that can make sense.
Exactly, not these non-issues and very relevant issues that he's doing. And because they are failing to do that, they have failed as an opposition. What he's simply doing is impressing the presidency. That is all he's doing. Let it be loud. But he's actually not doing any good for his state, which is Abia State. Otti is his elder brother. They are from the same area. So I'd expect that you would look for ways to attract more, just like he's claiming, attract more without making the state look useless. Pushing for actual, actions that would favor the people. But because we're ignoring this, and look, apart from Ben, which other voice are you hearing in Abia State? In Abia State, if you play opposition, they will kill you. That is how it is. No, I said I have been repeating this, that I have people that are in the system.
You cannot speak against Alex Otti openly.
I'm not saying you cannot, but I'm saying they are not doing it. And I'm saying it's not doing it for doing its sake, but be constructive. We should have a position that would speak to issues that will ensure that the people get the proper dividends of what they're getting.